Hey everybody, how you doing? Jazz Hands Tekking here apparently, with a very special announcement before I get into today's discussion. This is regarding the Green Bull Art Contest, for those of you that are interested. I know last week we were going to do the winning live stream, like the announcement, but the chapter got released early, so we had to reschedule. The live stream announcing the winners of the art contest will be held on February 19th, at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you're in any other kind of time zone, you have to calculate it yourself, or if you're any other non-standard time, I guess special time, like if you're living inside of a black hole right now and time is kind of warped, you might have to download an app or something to calculate when that's going to air. But yeah, February 19th, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's 1 week from today. I had to change it up because I really want the other judges, Joy Boy and Rogers Bays and myself, of course, to all be there at the same time, getting our schedules all lined up. So sorry for the delay. I know the contest ended like 2 weeks ago, but that's the date, so mark your calendars. All right, getting into the video. Let's go. All right. Now, I'm going to lay down a major knowledge bomb on you guys today. Maybe some of you might have heard this before, whispered about at the water cooler. But, I think this is for the vast majority. This is going to blow your minds, all right? Did you guys know that there are a lot of One Piece theories on the internet? I know. You might have to take a minute, just pause the video, kind of just recalibrate your entire existence, and it's like, okay, One Piece theories on the internet? What? Yeah, okay, so, of course, the damn thing's been around for 20-something years now. People have a lot of theories about various characters and abilities, and the abilities that characters have, and where the story's going, and all that stuff. Just personally, I get so many theories throughout my social media sent to me. Some of them are theories that have been around in the zeitgeist for a while, like, hey, Tekking, have you heard about the Blackbeard Devil Fruit Cerberus theory? And I'm like, yeah, I've heard about that, many times, but thanks for playing. Other times people just send me their theories they came up with. I get short theories, I get medium theories, I get theories formatted like a freaking novel, all that stuff. Now, I can't talk about everything, obviously. I could make a theory video every single day for the next 5 years, probably wouldn't even scratch the surface of just the built-up, theories that the fandom has devised over 20 freaking years or whatever. But today's video is going to be about me debunking a theory, and I don't normally do that. I usually just talk about theories I have a personal interest in, things I think that are going to happen. I don't usually come out and say, this is why this theory is bullshit, but that's what we're doing today, because every time I see this theory pop out, it's been around for a very long time. I always think of all these problems with this theory just immediately swarm into my head, like, no, that can't be the case because of this and this and this. And I just got it the other day, someone sent it to me again, and I'm just like, all right, I gotta make a video about this. All right, I just gotta go at it. Not picking on anyone in particular. It's not like, some kid came up with a One Piece theory in middle school, and he's like, maybe Carrot's going to become a member of the Yonko. Here, Tekking. And I'm like, that's a good theory, buddy. Nobody's ever actually sent me that theory. And by the way, if that's your theory, Carrot for Yonko, I'm not making fun of you. But anyway, no. Here's the theory we're talking about today. Here's how it's going. Goldie Roger, the king of the pirates, he had a devil fruit, and the devil fruit that he had was none other than the Gomu Gomu no Mi. That's right, the same devil fruit that was wielded by the main character right now in the story, Monkey D. Luffy. He had the exact same devil fruit. What happened was, Goldie Roger had that fruit, became king of the pirates, and then he died. And then Shanks got a hold of the Gomu Gomu no Mi, because Shanks used to be an apprentice pirate on Roger's crew, so he got a hold of it. And then when Shanks met Luffy at Fuchsia Village 10 years ago, or 12 years ago now with the time skip, Luffy accidentally ate the Gomu Gomu no Mi, gained its powers, became a rubber man, and that's where we're at right now in the story. Makes perfect sense. There's your connection right there between Luffy and Goldie Roger, the king of the pirates. There you go. That's the theory. Okay. Now, I feel like there's two different kinds of theories, how people come up with them anyway. One type of theory is based off stuff that we've seen in the story that characters have mentioned. Like, a prime example of this is back during Jaya, when Sanji just kind of, offhandedly mentions, oh, by the way, I grew up in the North Blue. Some people thought that was just like, oh, okay, that's random Sanji trivia fact, like, little footnote, he grew up in the North Blue. Other people were like, hey, wait a second, no, there's North Blue, East Blue... There's a wall here. There's red light. That's a big deal. How did he do that? And of course, later on, that ended up being a big deal. That's one type of theory, when it's based off stuff that was kind of mentioned in the manga. Then there's other types of theories, which I unfortunately feel are the vast majority, and there's really no basis in the manga for them. The basis for these types of theories are, wouldn't it be awesome if Shanks had a time devil fruit? That'd be cool. That was so cool, right? Like, he could bend time. So, yeah, that's usually how it goes. And this theory regarding Roger having the Gomu Gomu no Mi, I really feel like it is the latter. I really feel like it's stretching it out a little bit. No pun intended. Oh, who am I kidding? Pun was totally intended there. So, upon this theory that I've just explained to you, I have 3 major flaws with it, like right out of the gate. There's probably even more than this, but these are the 3 that immediately come to mind that I'm going to be discussing in this video today, alright? So let's get to this, okay? Right, so the first thing I should bring up is this. We do not know what Roger's ability was. We don't. We rarely get to see flashbacks with the dude. We saw in a flashback with Ed War when he was fighting Shiki, he wielded a sword. You know, we know he has the ability to hear the voices of all things, but that's not really an attack-based ability. That's more of just like an inherent ability you're born with. He knew hockey, most definitely. He had Conqueror's hockey, most definitely. But we don't know if he had a devil fruit or not. So you're right in stating that the fandom does not know that. However, you know who would know which, ability that Roger used when he fought? You know, if he did have a devil fruit, which characters would definitely know what that devil fruit was and what it could do? Maybe Whitebeard, or Sengoku, or Garp, or Suru, or Kong, or the Gorosei, or other Yonko like Big Mom, because she had dealings with Roger in the past. Maybe those characters. Hell, even the admirals, like Akainu and Borsalino, Kizaru, they were in their 30s. They were still Marines when Roger was having his, campaign as King of the Pirates in the New World. So they weren't admirals back then. I think they were vice admirals. Even if they weren't, it wouldn't matter. They would still have probably dealt with Roger at some point. And so this creates a massive problem because, like, a lot of characters, Whitebeard especially, because Whitebeard directly fought Roger, Big Mom did too, they would know immediately how Roger fought. If he did have a devil fruit, what that devil fruit would at least be called, or what the abilities of it were, he exhibited. They would, maybe if they didn't know the exact name of the thing, they'd be like, Roger has the ability to stretch his body around. Interesting. He must have some sort of chewing gum devil fruit, whatever. And then you have Luffy. If he did have the exact same devil fruit as Roger, he would have similar abilities. Maybe not that he would use the fruit the exact same way Roger did, but they would still be obvious that he has the same fruit, and the characters would mention that. They would be like, holy crap, Luffy has the exact same devil fruit as the most famous pirate in the entire world, bar none, Goldie Roger. Oh, and another character I glossed over in this video, but I really wanted to bring up, was Buggy, okay? Buggy was part of Roger's crew, alright? He would have absolutely known what kind of abilities Roger would have used in battle, and Buggy was one of the very first villains that Luffy fought against. If Oda really planned this later down the line, and he already set up things with Buggy being, on Roger's crew and knowing Shanks, he set that kind of stuff up really early in the story. So if that was what Oda was really planning, there is absolutely no excuse why Buggy wouldn't have directly either, just mentioned it to Luffy, like, damn, you have the same devil fruit as my former captain, or something of that nature. Or he wouldn't have at least thought about it, that Straw Hat boy has the same fruit as the captain, or something. Like, we would have known something through Buggy. Now, you might say, okay, like Whitebeard, when, Luffy met Whitebeard at Marineford, and then Whitebeard actually is sitting there on top of the ship watching Luffy fight. Maybe Whitebeard did notice the similarity, he just didn't say it out loud. Okay, well, that's still a problem, because he would have at least thought it. Oda, if that's the road that Oda really planned on this going down, if Oda's sitting there writing One Piece and he's like, you know what, I'm gonna have Luffy have the same devil fruit as Roger, I'm gonna write that into the story. When Whitebeard saw Luffy fight, even if he didn't say anything out loud, we really should have gotten some inner dialogue or something like, that kid, his fighting style is just like... ... and he kind of trails off, and it kind of gives us the fandom kind of a hint that, or at least his face would have been like, Okay, but that's just Whitebeard. What about Sengoku? What about Tsuru? What about the Gorosei? You think the Gorosei, these 5 old dudes that are just sitting around all day talking about major world events, anytime they bring up Luffy, and they've brought up Luffy quite a few times, not one of them ever thought to bring up, yeah, that Monkey D. Luffy, man, he's been causing a major stir in the world. His bounty rose to like 300 million in less than a year. Oh, by the way, he also has the same devil fruit as the King of the Pirates. That might just be a little footnote, maybe a caveat you just want to throw in there, okay? Big Mom, the same exact way. Big Mom sees Luffy using his devil fruit, there's no reason why Big Mom would keep that to herself. There's no reason Big Mom would sit there and be like, that's the same devil fruit as Roger. No, she would say it. She'd be like, damn it, that kid's just like Roger. He's exact same ability. Somebody would have mentioned it out loud by now. Alright, like, that's something that definitely would have occurred. You know, Whitebeard, Sengoku, Garp's his grandfather. He would have said something to somebody. You know, it would have been thrown around. I'm not even saying they would have mentioned it directly to Luffy, like Garp actually sits down Luffy and says, you know, Luffy, you have the same devil fruit as the King of the Pirates. Obviously, Garp wouldn't have done that. He didn't want Luffy to become a pirate. But Garp would have mentioned, Sengoku would have mentioned it to Garp or something. Sengoku would have been like, damn kid, he has the same fruit as Roger, and now he caused all this ruckus on Enies Lobby. Somebody would have said it at some point, alright? That's my first major flaw with this, and I think that's a big one. I have others, but that one's like a big issue, alright? Okay, so the second problem I have with this is how Shanks would have ended up getting the fruit. Alright, so from what we understand so far in the story, and this was not something that was revealed at the beginning, this was something that we didn't find out properly until after the time skip, but the whole concept about how devil fruit reincarnation works. You have a devil fruit, you eat it, nom, that tastes like crap, oh, now I can manipulate fire, but then you die, you get, a hole-in-one right through your chest, as most people die. Wouldn't it be hilarious if every single user of the Mera no Mi died in the exact same way Ace did? That'd be interesting. Like, there's like, oh, here's all the previous users of the Mera no Mi, and there's all diagrams of them with holes in their chest. Like, huh, okay, well, that makes sense now. And Sabo's sitting there like, oh, that's not good. But anyway, yeah, after you die, the essence of the fruit leaves your corpse and then finds the fruit and then, embodies a new fruit, and then that new fruit becomes a devil fruit. Like we saw on Punk Hazard, after Smiley died, the Zone Fruit model Axtol went back into an apple that was just nearby, and the normal apple physically changed into a purple devil fruit, and then boom, there you go. Alright, so that's how devil fruit reincarnation works. Now, even though we did not find out about this until Punk Hazard arc, devil fruits have been something that have existed in the One Piece world for hundreds of years. Surely people would have figured out, the Marines especially would have figured out how devil fruit reincarnation operates by this point. The Marines and the world government have been around for like 800 years or some such. They would, even without Vegapunk, this does not take a genius to figure out, oh hey, we had a devil fruit user in the Marines, and he died, and the nearest fruit became the new devil fruit, huh? They would have figured this out by now. This seems like something that is easy to figure. So, if that's the case, then I guess the general idea here is that when Roger died, Shanks attained the Gomu Gomu no Mi because Shanks was a member on his crew. Well, okay, that would have made sense if Roger died on the ship. Like, if he died on the Oro Jackson, like, goodbye, my faithful crew members. Shanks, I entrust you with my devil fruit. Ugh. And then they had a devil fruit that became, and they had a fruit that became the devil fruit after Roger died. And then Shanks is like, I will guard this, Captain. But that's not how it happened. Roger was executed in front of a live studio audience at Logtown. He was up on the scaffolding, and they jammed the freaking, spears into him, or however form of execution works in One Piece. And then that's how he died. I think the world government would have been smart enough at that point to be like, okay, we have to make sure that his devil fruit is just not reincarnated to just any random food stall that just happens to be in freaking Logtown. And also you have to look at how thorough the world government was. After Roger was executed, they went out to the farthest reaches of the world to try to find any children that Roger might have fathered, because they had to get rid of them too. And Porcus D. Rouge had to go through such extreme lengths, holding Ace in her belly for, 20 months or something to give birth to him. That's the lengths she had to go to. You don't think the government would just be so dirt stupid they'd be like, well, okay, we're executing the King of the Pirates today at Logtown. Well, what about what's going to happen to his devil fruit? Oh, well, I guess it'll get reincarnated into the nearest fruit. So, you know, I guess there's nothing we can do about that. I'm like, yeah, there is, actually. You know, there's plenty of things you can do about that. Now, there's two schools of thought into how devil fruits are really incarnated into fruits. Some people say it's like the nearest fruit, no matter what it is, from the user when they die. And other people say it's the very specific kind of fruit. Like Buggy's Bara Bara no Mi took the appearance of a pineapple. So when Buggy ever dies, I mean, Buggy will never die. This is purely hypothetical. But if Buggy ever died, then it's not like the Bara Bara no Mi would be reincarnated into just the nearest apple or the nearest watermelon. It would literally find the nearest pineapple and then be reincarnated into that. That's how you can have like an encyclopedia that actually lists what devil fruits look like, even though they've been reincarnated several times. They still have the exact same appearance. You know, and in regards to Smiley on Punk Hazard, maybe the Axtol fruit just happened to be an apple and it got reincarnated into an apple, and there you go, and we just got lucky with that. But even if either case, it doesn't matter. The world government should still know how reincarnation works, and it's like, okay, Roger's gonna be executed, so we should have just like a Marine holding like a big bucket full of a bunch of different fruits of assorted variety, and then when Roger dies, one of them is bound to turn into the new Gomu Gomu no Mi. If they didn't even know what kind of fruit it was before, it's like one of these is bound to turn into it. All right. You know, I guess it's still possible that because Shanks was present at Logtown when Roger was executed, he was there. So I guess it is possible that Shanks could have been, you know, in possession of a fruit. And, you know, when Roger was executed, the essence went into the fruit and then Shanks made off with it. I guess that's possible. I'm just saying it would be really, really stupid if the world government didn't know how this worked and they just let his devil fruit ability out into the world. Kind of a glaring oversight. Now, you might bring up Ace's execution on this. Like, well, we didn't see anything like that go down when Ace was executed. Ace was up on the scaffolding at Marineford, and, you know, his devil fruit got in the hands of Doflamingo. We didn't see it happen, but I think, how do you think Doflamingo got a hold of that damn fruit? Here's what I think happened. Ace was about to be executed, and they had somebody on standby ready to, you know, like, okay, here's a Marine, Lieutenant Commander Johnson, here you go. You're in possession of the fruit basket. So when Fire Fist Ace is executed, one of these fruits is going to turn into the new Mara no Mi, or something of that nature. Ace is eventually executed, not the way that he was planned to be, but he was eventually killed by a Kainu, and one of the fruits got, you know, that the Marines were in possession of, turned into the Mara no Mi, and then you know what? Doflamingo just killed the dude and just took it. Doflamingo is not only a warlord, he's also one of the world nobles, and he just kind of does whatever he wants. The world government's kind of afraid of him in a lot of regards, so I think it would be perfectly reasonable for Doflamingo to, like, steal the Mara no Mi away from the world government, away from the Marines, and just skip out. Or even if he didn't steal it then, he would have known exactly where it was. He'd be like, I know that the world government is in possession of the Mara no Mi after the war at Marineford. I'm gonna break in, take it, and leave. He could totally do that. He's Doflamingo, okay? And that's how he had it in possession in the beginning of Dressrosa. I think that makes perfect sense. So, yeah. I think the Marines have planned this whenever a Devil Fruit user is executed to make sure to get their Devil Fruit power and not just let it get reincarnated out in the world for just any other random pirate to have. You know, or some random kid. You don't want some random kid in the South Blue, like, 5-year-old kid have the powers of the Mara no Mi. Like, the Marines want that power for themselves, and they probably had it. It's just Doflamingo probably just took it. Let's say Shanks did have the Devil Fruit after Roger was executed. He got it in his possession. From the time Roger was executed, from the time Shanks met Luffy at Fuchsia, that was like a 12-year gap. So what? Shanks just keeps the Gomu Gomu no Mi in a chest that he decided to bring into Makino's bar, that he just decided to set on the counter with the chest open. Just like, here's our prized treasure, we're just leaving out in the open. You know, I think it's way more likely that what occurred was the red-haired pirates just got back from a random island. They had some treasure with them that they brought into the bar, and one of those happened to be the Gomu Gomu no Mi. And they were careless, and they didn't think to lock it up, or they didn't think to throw it on their ship. But my point is, if it was like their prized possession, if it was like, this is my former captain's Devil Fruit, I'm gonna guard this with my life. If it was their prized possession, they would not just leave it in an unlocked chest on top of a bar counter. All right, they would keep it in storage in their ship, or they would keep it locked up tight, making sure no one could ever get to it. I think it's more likely they just brought a bunch of swag into the bar. It's like, yeah, we got some gold, we got some freaking bouillon or whatever. Oh, we also got a devil fruit. That's cool. And then they got fucking drunk and they didn't pay attention. Like, oh, Luffy, you didn't drink. Oh my God, Luffy, you ate it. You know, they didn't. You know, they were shocked by it because they were probably looking to maybe sell the devil fruit and get some money for it or something. Getting a devil fruit's not something easy to come across. You know, and they were like, oh, Luffy, you can't swim now. I think they were more worried for Luffy's sake, you know, because Luffy can't swim now and this is irreversible. They can't take the power out of him. So it's like, oh, Luffy, crap, you ate it. You weren't supposed to do that. But yeah, that's all that was there. I don't think it was anything really all that, you know. I actually went back and looked at the manga in the first chapter because in the first episode of the anime, the devil fruit is just sitting on the counter right next to Luffy, like out in the open. In the manga, if you actually read it, we don't even know where it came from. In one panel, Luffy's just talking to Shanks. In the next panel, he's eating the devil fruit, and then he has it, and then that's it. We don't even know where he found it. So I guess it's still implied that they just brought this devil fruit into the bar and just set it on the counter. Like, no one will probably touch it. Maybe we should shut the chest. Nah, maybe we should put a lock on it. Nah, it's fine. Order of ale there, Makino. Right, so that's the second problem I have with it. The third one is this. I think one of the major reasons why people want this theory to be true is because it's more of a connection between Goldie Roger and Luffy. And we want that because Goldie Roger was the king of the pirates, and Luffy's goal is to become king of the pirates. So we have to have some connection between them. A bond, an invisible line that connects their lives, you know, fate, and it's poetic and all that crap. So that's why he has to have the same devil fruit as Luffy. You know, but here's the problem. There's already connections. There's 2 of them, actually. You know, technically 3, because he has the same dream that Roger did. You know, a lot of people always compare Luffy to Roger, not because of his abilities, but because of his personality. Also because Luffy has the same straw hat that Roger had. Roger had his straw hat, gave it to Shanks. Shanks gave it to Luffy. So right there, if you want some kind of invisible line connecting Luffy and Roger, there you go. It's not really invisible, it's the straw hat. It's physical. So there's something. And also, they both have the exact same ability to hear the voices of all things. And the only characters we know so far that have that ability are Luffy and Roger. Possibly Joy Boy, but the ones that we know so far for certain, Luffy and Roger. You know? So there you go. There's your connection. You know, just because Luffy wants to follow in Roger's footsteps, just because Luffy wants to be king of the pirates, doesn't mean Oda has to write it so, like, you know, they have the exact same ability, they have the exact same devil fruit, they have the exact same hat, Luffy's gonna grow the exact same mustache, he's gonna do it the exact same way that Roger did, because that's not where it's going. That's totally not where it's going. There's enough connections right there with the straw hat, Luffy's daring attitude that Roger had, although it is slightly different from his. He's not going to follow the exact same way Roger did it, and the ability to hear voices. That's all you need. I don't think you need to just, like, hammer it in even further by, oh, by the way, on top of all those other things, he also has the same devil fruit. It's just like, it's too much. It's overkill. You don't need all that, guys. You don't. Alright, I think Oda has already set up the comparisons between Luffy and Roger enough. I didn't even mention Rayleigh. Rayleigh, the right-hand man of Roger, who would have most certainly known everything about Roger's devil fruit ability, and he never even, like, you know, mentioned it offhand to Luffy. Like, there would be no reason for Rayleigh to keep that a secret from Luffy. Rayleigh would have mentioned it to Luffy, you know, either when they met, or when they were hanging out at Shaki's bar, or when they were on Ruskaina training. Rayleigh would have mentioned, by the way, you have the same devil fruit as my captain, as Roger. Like, why would he keep that a secret? They're all chilling out at Shaki's bar. It's not like it's a big secret or anything. The major secret regarding Luffy and the world government, the thing the world government is concerned with that he's not Roger's son, he's Dragon's son. That's the thing they're concerned with. They don't even mention anything regarding Luffy's devil fruit. It's just like a random paramecia to the government. They don't care. Thanks for watching, everybody. Once again, if this was your theory, if you had something like a personal attachment to this, I'm not trying to attack you personally, like, your theories are shit. I'm just saying, in general, at this theory that's been out there for years, it's not likely. I think it's very much impossible to occur. It's debunked. There you go. Have a good one, everybody. This will be Tekking101 signing out.